Hello, I'm Eric Smith, and this is the Low Budget Review Show. Ta-da! Trying to come up with some theme music, but I haven't gotten any yet, so I'm going to make it a little more exciting, hopefully, one of these days. Today I'm talking about a trilogy that's a little bit older, just a few years, but I'm not talking about something brand new because the author of these books, Duane Swierczynski, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, he does have a brand new book out called Canary, but I haven't picked it up yet. So to kind of promote that a little bit, promote the author himself, I want to talk about the Charlie Hardie trilogy. Before I get into that, I did want to mention Duane Swierczynski is one of those authors that I discovered through comic books. I'd never heard of him before, and he started doing comic book work and stuff that I like. He just did some Moon Knight, Iron Fist, some Deadpool. He's got a Godzilla series. Did some Judge Dredd. He has a brand new series called Black Hood. I believe the first issue is out. I haven't picked that up yet. That's something else I want to pick up. But I was reading his comic books, found out he wrote prose novels, started picking those up, and I'm so glad I did because they're fantastic. And my favorite so far was the Charlie Hardie trilogy. This is a very long introduction, so we'll get to the books. One other thing, these books, this is a true trilogy, one big story. So with each book that I talk about, I'm going to be able to tell you less and less because I don't want to give anything away. So let's start with book one, which is Fun and Games. It's from Mulholland Books. The copyright is June 2011, so it's just a few years old. I love that cover. This book introduces us to Charlie Hardie. And Charlie is an ex-cop who had a kind of a breakdown a little bit after some tragic events that I'm not going to tell you about because you're going to want to read about it for yourself. And so now he's just basically a professional house sitter. That's what he does. And so he gets a job and he goes out to California to house sit. And when he arrives at the house, he discovers there's kind of a squatter there. And it's this young woman, this B-movie actress, who tells Charlie that someone is trying to kill her. That kicks off everything, and the rest of the book is just Charlie trying to keep her alive, trying to keep himself alive, trying to figure out what the hell is going on, and trying to figure out who the accident people are. And I'm not going to tell you who they are. You got to read the book to find out. I will tell you that the accident people are fantastic antagonists. This is an incredibly well-written book. It's fast-paced. It's it's thrilling, which is why it's a thriller, I guess. Swierczynski's writing style is just incredibly smooth, fast-paced, as I said. The characters are great. Charlie Hardie is a really well-rounded, deep, three-dimensional character. The young woman that he's trying to help is a great character. The accident people, as I said, fantastic antagonists. Just an amazing organization of bad guys, I guess. And they all have their own distinct personalities. So I'm trying to keep these each real quick since I have 3 books to talk about. So that's basically Fun and Games. Just an incredible, fast-paced action-adventure thriller. This book makes Die Hard seem like Die Easy. Yeah, I said that. That's how good this is. So there you go. Fun and Games, Charlie Hardie, Book 1. So then we have Book 2, Hell and Gone. This came out in October of 2011. Or at least that's the copyright. Now, this one, after the events of the first book, Charlie Hardie wakes up in an underground, maximum security, super secret prison. He can't contact the world up there, but they can contact him, and they tell him that he is the warden of this prison. This prison holds the most vile criminal scum that's ever been captured and put into a prison. And he's now in charge, is what he's told. And there is the prison has a fail-safe so that if anybody tries to escape, comes close to escaping, this fail-safe will go off and it will kill everybody in the prison. Prisoners, guards, Charlie Hardie, everybody's going to be dead. So Charlie has to figure out, once again, what the hell's going on and how he's going to get out of this crazy situation. So once again, amazing. Just the same crisp, clean, fast-paced writing. Charlie Hardie's still a fantastic character. The prisoners, everybody, the guards, all the people, just really interesting. It's different from the first book in that book 1, Fun and Games, is an open world. So you've got car chases and helicopters and super gunfights and just all sorts of crazy action. Whereas in Hell and Gone, it's, for the most part, it's all in this prison. So you can't have car chases and helicopters and stuff. There's still plenty of action, but it's maybe a little more cerebral. Just in that there's even more for Charlie to figure out. And it's the prison itself is almost a puzzle box that he's got to figure out how everything works and how he's going to get out of this situation. It's not to say it's a slow book. It's still very fast paced, which I think it's a byproduct of the way Swierczynski writes. I haven't read anything of his yet that wasn't really just fast paced, well written. So that's book 2, Hell and Gone. Then we move on. Oh, and the ending of Hell and Gone will blow your mind. It's craziness. But then we move on to Point and Shoot. The copyright on this is April 2013, so a year and a half, almost 2 years between the second book and the third book. That's in the real world. In the book world, it's half a second. The ending of book 2 is the beginning of book 3. And as I said, the ending of 2 will blow your mind, and the Point and Shoot will keep your mind blown for the entire book. I really can't tell you too much about this without giving anything away. So the situation that Charlie finds himself at the very end of book 2, he's there at the beginning of this. He has to figure out a way out of it, and then people are still trying to kill him. So the main chunk of the book is Charlie Hardie just trying to stay alive, and the bad guys are threatening his family. So he's trying to stay alive, and he's got to get across the country to keep his family alive. Anything else I tell you is just going to be giving away just all the surprises, all the insanity that is in this book. And just like the first 2, it's incredibly well written, fast paced, amazing characters, and this pushes the over the top action even more than the first book did. It's insane what goes on in this book. This is the second time I've recorded this, and one of the reasons is because I made a few mistakes, but I realized that I didn't mention didn't make a comparison that I should have made. I'm a huge fan of the movie Shoot 'Em Up. It's not a great movie. It's never would have won an award, an Oscar. I mean, it's just so over the top and ridiculous, but it's fun. Just crazy action, and Clive Owen is great in it. Paul Giamatti's great in it, and that's, to me, almost a perfect comparison to this book in particular, but the whole trilogy in general has that just crazy feel to it. This book makes the Fast and the Furious seem like the slow and the meek. So there you go. But I mean, if you like that kind of movie, if you like the Die Hard series, Fast and the Furious series, things like Shoot 'Em Up. I've never seen The Expendables. I know some people like it, some people don't, but I imagine that would fit into this whole kind of category of just crazy action movies. Well, actually, at the head of each chapter, there's a quote from an action movie. And I flipped through here earlier, and there's quotes from RoboCop, Red Heat, Running Scared, They Live. So that's a perfect example of the type of movie. If you like that kind of thing, I think you're going to love these. They're fantastic. This is a trilogy that I will read every year, at some point, just because it's like rewatching your favorite movie, especially if you're an action movie fan. You know, I Shoot 'Em Up again is anytime I come across it on TV, I stop and watch it. It takes a little longer to read 3 books than it does to watch a movie, but it's worth it. They're fantastic. So, my final rating, and this is probably my worst set of drawings yet, but I rate the Charlie Hardie trilogy 6 out of 5 director's chairs. Yeah, I said 6 out of 5. I know it's mathematically impossible, but I'm doing it anyway. It's 6 out of 5. And as for the director's chairs, you're going to have to read the books to find out why I chose that as my rating for this series. I'm going to toss that over there. Yeah, it's that good. I gave it an extra chair. I broke physics to rate this series. So, excuse me. As always, I'll have links for these books in the description down below. I believe they're all still available. So I'll have those links below. So check those out. Check out anything by Mr. Swierczynski. Check out his Facebook. I believe he's on Tumblr, Twitter. Check all that stuff out. I haven't been disappointed by anything he's written so far. If you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put them in the comments below. If you know the proper pronunciation of Duane Swierczynski, spell it out in the comments below. Comments will be open for spoilers. Just please be polite. Put a spoiler warning. I know I was very, very vague about the stories in the book, so if you want any more information, just ask about it. I'll post a spoiler warning, and I'll tell you anything you want to know. But really, you need to read them for yourself, because it's just full of twists and turns and surprises, and I know I keep saying mind-blowing, but mind-blowing storytelling, and you don't want it spoiled. After the first one, I had no idea how he was going to top himself, and then all of a sudden he puts this crazy spin on it with the second one, and then the ending of the second one, holy cow, it's insane. And then it carries on, and the third one just keeps going and building and going and building, and you have to experience for yourself. So if you ask, I will tell you, but really you should just read them for yourself. I think that covers everything that I wanted to cover. Fun and games, Hell and Gone, Point and Shoot, Duane Swierczynski, the Charlie Hardie trilogy. Hollywood, if you're listening, make these into movies. Oh man, I could see Jeremy Renner playing Charlie Hardie. He was just the first person that popped into my head, but I think he'd be good for it. Come on, Hollywood, get off your ass. Make some good stuff. Instead of, if you like the Fast and the Furious, that's fine, but they're on what, number 7? How about doing this? And there's 3. You can do the 3, and it's done. Unless he wants to write some more. Then do those too. Okay. Alright, I think that's it. Check the stuff out. I'm Eric Smith. This is the Low Budget Review Show. And until next time, read more books.